We're still going through the Kaplan book, 2021 book. We're going through sort of the ideas and the skills behind one of the prep tests. We're on question 5, and I'm going to write a version. If you're looking at the book, you can see the problem right there. You've already taken the test. Hopefully you've already taken the test. I'm going to write a version of the problem, and I'm just going to change the numbers to protect. And we've already done order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is what we did for question 2. So it's the same thing. It's a monster though, it's long. Oops, started copying exactly what they wrote. Shouldn't do that. Use different numbers. Those are kids in the kitchen cooking cookies. I don't know if you can hear them smashing stuff around. All right. This looks brutal. It's not. It's a series of small, careful steps done in the right order. The right order is Dear Aunt Sally. So I'm going to draw my small Dear Aunt Sally up here. She says parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply and divide as we see it from left to right, add and subtract as we see it from left to right. So we're only going to do this once. They wrote a good question here because they threw in some negatives. Minuses and negatives make us feel a little uneasy. And if we ever get an answer that's a negative or a decimal, we start to doubt ourselves because it feels like everything should be a whole number. When we get to geometry, for instance, anytime you're dealing with a circle, you'll hardly ever get a whole number. It'll be a long old decimal or something to work with. But anyway, here we go. First things first, Sally says, excuse me, Dear Aunt Sally says parentheses first. So that these are the only parentheses, 3 minus 15. I don't want to rush this, okay? So I'm going to rewrite everything in one step, and I'm going to spread things out. 6 to the second, 3. Now, 3 minus 15. I'm in the middle of a test I never want to take again. I'm not going to mental math that. I'm double checking that 3 minus 15 is negative 12. Now, there's something I missed doing here. Remember that that is multiply. 3 times that is multiply. There's an invisible multiply sign in there because two things next to each other tend to multiply and they're touching. So now that it's just a regular old number, I got to put a multiply in there. Now, this is kind of bad form because I got the X version of it right there. So I'm using always times dots. That means multiply, not the letter X. So boom, good, we're good. That's done. Next, she says, do exponents. Now, exponents, I'm just going to erase these and put in the right answer. Exponents of these little numbers, and those numbers are repeaters. They let us know how many times to write the number. To do what? To multiply, because there is so much multiplication. So in algebra, 6 to the second power is not 6 times 2, it's 6 times 6. 4 to the third power is not 4 times 3, it's 4 times 4 times 4. So now I'm going to erase these to save a little bit of space and put the answer above. 6 times 6 is 36. So I can get rid of that. 4 times 4 times 4, calculator tells me, is 64. Because 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is 64. Neither one of those math things were too hard. Get to use a calculator. On the Kaplan book, sometimes it says can't use your calculator, but the GED lets us use the calculator on a lot of stuff. 41 questions out of 46. So exponents are gone. Next, we're looking for multiplication and division as we see it from left to right. And that's where that teacher said, just go through real quick, make yourself some notes. I'm doing those and those. Those are my multiplies. The rest of the stuff can come on down. A plus sign can come on down. Plus 64, come on down. definitely using my calculator for this. So -4 times 36. And it's kind of nice already having this stuff down because I know where everything's going to slot into place. 3 times -12, -36. Now that's done. Now we add and subtract as we go from left to right. This is what they just did here is classic GED. Negative numbers plus or minus, negative numbers plus a positive number. Do not mental math. Don't. Just type it in your calculator carefully. The thing is, we got to know that that's the button we have to press for positive, negative to make a number positive or negative. I'm going to jump over to the calculator here for a second, which is here. Okay, so on the calculator, am I sharing that right? I hope you guys can see it. That is, where am I blanking? Where are you? The negative number. Oh, here, sorry. I'm sorry. I was waiting for that thing to jump. This number would make that button makes a number negative. So if you're typing that, you'd hit that button and then 144. Then the next one is plus, negative, something. So we'd hit the plus and then the negative thing again. So that would do this and this, and we type in that next number. Yes, you can change that to negative, positive, and flip the signs. You can. We don't have to do that when we're using the calculator, and everything sort of works out on its own. So I'm gonna go back to the thing. Love that calculator. It wants to do the work for you. So we would hit that negative button, make it -144 plus -36 plus 64. Don't mental math it. I don't know what this answer is. I just wrote the numbers randomly. Plus -36 plus 64. That's what we all got a 172 out of that. So I'm going to undo this. A lot of clicking. This is one of those doable, not going to say the word easy, but doable questions that take time. This will take a full 2 minutes. We just do it nice and carefully. We want to absolutely get this stuff right. Look at how confusing that problem is. I mean, it is a lot. And it looks like it's throwing curveball and barbed wire wrapped in a booby trap with a landmine. But dear Aunt Sally, she tells the truth. I made space. I figured out what my parentheses were, and then said, oh yeah, I got a times. That's a multiply. So parentheses are done. Exponents. Exponents are just repeaters. So it's just 6 times 6 or 4 times 4 times 4. Get rid of that. Put in what those answers were using the calculator. Exponents are done. Multiply. Make notes for yourself. Bring everything else down. And then with our calculator, bap. And bap. And then add and subtract. Calculator. Calculator. And we get our answer. So that and the video on question 2, dear Aunt Sally shows up all the time. She is the way. So these kinds of questions will pop up. And you'll crush them. Just be patient, and you got this.